Hello dear creatives, welcome to another interesting online tutorial. My name is Adjola, CEO Allowed by Ruby, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a beautiful crisscross turban with a V-front front. Now this turban is very unique because it has a combination of the V-front band and also has the cross front. So here are the few items I'm going to be needing. I have my nice and soft velvet right here, and this is 1 yard. I have my scissors, my pins, my tailor's chalk, my measuring tape, and my matching needle and matching thread and hand sewing needle. So quickly, let's get started. Okay, so now I have cut out 4 pieces from my fabric and I'm going to be showing you the measurement. I actually need 2 pieces of this, but I'm going to be using my velvet also to line the inside part of my turban so it can have a very neat finishing. So each of this piece right here is 6 inches wide and it's 23 inches long. Now the length means that your head circumference plus 1. I'm actually working with 22 inches as my head circumference, and I added 1 inch. That makes it 23 inches. So if your head circumference is 21, just add 1. If your head circumference is 22, just add 1. Or if your head circumference is 23 inches, you can just go ahead and add 1 inch. And also endeavor that the head circumference part, which is the length part, is the most stretchy part of the velvet. The other part is equally stretchy, but check out for the most stretchy part, and that is what you should consider being your length part of your turban. So what I'm going to do now is, since I'm going to be lining the inner part of my turban, I'm going to be placing the fabric in pairs. Okay, so I'm putting it right side to right side because I'm going to be sewing this all up, leaving 2 inches for me to fold this inside out. And I'm going to do the same for the other one right here. Place it in a pair this way and then stitch on it with a running stitch or with a straight stitch. Give 2 inches allowance for you to be able to turn it inside out. So this way I have 2 pairs to create my turban. Alright, I have joined this and I've turned it inside out, and I've also sealed the edge right here. So this is how it looks. This is how it looks when I joined it. So I'm going to take off my pins. I'll just take them off and then I'll turn it inside out. Then I can show you the parts where you have to seal. And this right here is the 2 inches. This is actually not up to 2 inches, so you can just make it 1.5. Just leave an opening wide enough for you to be able to turn your fabric inside out. So I'm taking off my pins right here. And then here we go. So from this opening, I'm going to turn it inside out. Okay, turn it inside out, and this is what I have right here. So make sure you push in the edges, make sure they are sitting very sharp. Push in the edges to make sure they come up so you can have a sharp square at the edges. So, and for the other part right here, after pushing this up, then the opposite side has the opening. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it inside a little this way, and then I'm just going to stitch on it the same way I did for these parts right here. Alright dear creatives, so this is how it looks right here. I ironed this so that it can be much flatter, and when you are ironing, please note that you don't iron directly on your fabric. Okay, you can just get a white handkerchief, wet it a little, place your handkerchief on it before you can press on it, and it's going to look much better. So this is what I have right here, and then I'm going to be placing, now you can use the front or the back side, it's fine. So the inner part and the outer part of the turban is looking beautiful. So I'm going to fold this way into two, and I'll fold the other one as well. Okay, so at this point I already thread my needle right here for me to create a temporal stitch to join these two pieces together. So I'm going to be starting with this right here, and I'm going to be using my needle and thread just to pleat it temporarily this way. Okay, so at this point I'm going to pull. I need to tie the knot at the edge right here. Okay, so I can pull. So after pulling, I'm going to continue by taking the other piece right here and also pleat it to join the two pieces. So this way I've joined the two pieces together, and then I'm going to cut my thread because I am not tying the knot at this edge because this is a temporal stitch. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open this up. Okay, so this is what I have right here. So this is what I have right here. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be crisscrossing, meaning I'll take this to the left and this to the right and this to the left, this way and then this way. So this is how it looks. Okay, it's looking really beautiful. So pay attention to the crossing. I'm going to do this one more time in case you don't understand that part. Now, if you're finding it difficult to understand, another method you can use is to place your fabric straight beside each other and then pleat in between, joining the two pieces together this way. So as it is, if I remove this stitch, they are going to be on their own side by side. So place them side by side this way, pleat in the middle, take the left to the right and take the right to the left this way. Nice and easy. So I have a twist right here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring the up one down, the one on the left, and also the one on the right this way, and then I'm going to pin this part and this part because I'm going to be sewing from here to this part. So in order for me to know where to stitch, I'm going to use my pin to hold this in place, making sure that the edges are properly aligned. Use my pin to hold it in place, making sure that the edges are properly aligned. And I'll do the same for this pin to hold it in place, making sure that the edges are properly aligned. So at this point, after pinning, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to sew from here to here and then from here to here. Okay, so this is how it looks. I've stitched from here to here, and I started from here also to this part. I'm going to remove my pins right now, and then we move to the next stage. Okay, so this is how it is. So when I open this up, this is what I have. Okay, This is what I have right here. Okay, so now I want you to pay attention. Now this is the wrong side of the turban because this is the part that was sewn. Okay, this part that is smooth right here is the right side. So I'm placing this right now for you to see because we use the same fabric for the inside and the outer part of the turban, so I don't want you to get confused. So this is the inside part of the turban and this is also the inside part. So at this point I'm going to be placing the right side to the right side this way, okay, this way, and then I'm going to sew from here down to this part. Okay, I'll repeat. Place your fabric right side to right side, okay, and sew from here down to this side. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it in place right now before I go to the sewing machine. It's always very easier when you pin your fabric before you sew. It makes it easy so you don't have the edges not equal at all. So I'll go to the sewing machine and sew from here to here, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, so this is how it looks. I stitched from here to here and straight to this part, and this is going to be the head circumference, and this is going to be the depth. Now please note, you can increase your head circumference to your head size or to your client's head size. And also, if this depth if it is not deep enough for you, instead of making each of the piece 6 inches, you can make it 8 inches, 8 inches, so you can have a longer depth. So at this point I'm going to remove that temporal stitch. Okay, I just removed it and this is how it looks. Now you can decide to leave it like this, and you can decide to pleat the back parts. So quickly I'm going to thread my needle and then I'm going to show you where to thread, where to pleat rather. Okay, so now that I want to pleat, but I discovered that I want to use the other type of pleating method. The regular type of pleating is just to thread your needle and then you just pleat from here to here this way with your needle and thread. Okay, just pleat it this way. But the other method I want to use it, I'll just turn this to the right side right here, and then I'm going to fold in, just fold this back part. Okay, pin with my thread and with my needle rather, and also fold this part right here and then pin with my needle. Okay, so I pinned this part right here, so I'm just going to do a straight stitch right here to hold this in place. And it's very important for you to stitch in between the seam right here. Just stitch from here, okay, and just stop right here. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is how it looks on the side and the back part. This is the back part. That's another method of pleating if you don't want to use the regular one. So I'll use this method of pleating, stitch a straight line right here to hold this my folded pleats in place, and then I'll show you how it looks like when I'm done. All right, this is how it looks right here. This is the back part, okay, and I've folded the pleats in place. Okay, the issue is lining, the issue is using too thick fabric for the inside and outside is that that part is going to get bulky. Okay, but it's fine, it still works. So let's move to the band part. Now, as it is, because of the lining, you can even wear this turban without even attaching a band. So even as bandless as it is still perfect. You can still wear it like this. So you can choose to wear it this way, or you can choose to attach a band. So for the band, the measurement is 23 inches by 4. And this is what I have right here. I'm going to be showing you the measurement right here. So the length is the same with the band, with the base rather. So this is 4 inches right here. This is 4 inches by 23 inches. So this is 23 inches right here. So I'm going to fold this. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. So I'm going to fold this with the wrong side facing each other this way, okay, making sure that the edges are properly aligned, and then I'm going to stitch up this part. Okay, place it on each other this way and then use my pin to hold it. So after pinning, I'm going to seal the edges by sewing from here down to this part right here. So I'm sewing like a V from here to here and from here down to this part. So I'll quickly go ahead and join this, and then when I'm done, I will show you how to move, how it looks like, and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, this is how it looks right here. I just sewed it from this part right here and I stopped here. So I folded this for me to be able to get the midpoint of this band right here, and this is the middle facing the sharp V part right here. And then I'm just going to notch it a little, just notch it a little, so I know that this is the part that faces the V front exactly. So at this point, I'm going to put this down and turn my base inside out, because I'm going to be attaching the band. So from this midpoint right here, I'm going to be attaching it. I'm going to attach it. Okay, let me turn it back to the right part right here. I've turned it to the right back. I've turned it to the right. Okay, so I'm going to be attaching the back part. This is the mid part of the back. Okay, and then I'm going to attach my band to it right here, and then use my pin to hold it in place. Use my pin to hold it in place. Very simple, this way. And then I'm going to continue by attaching it to the sides right here, making sure that the edges are properly aligned. Okay, so I'm going to pin this down. Also, for this other part, I'm going to pin it down as well, making sure that the edges are properly aligned while joining. Okay, so I'm pinning it down. I'm just trying to adjust it to make sure that the edges are aligned, and then I'll pin this down this way. So this is how it looks. This is the midpoint right here. This is the side, and I'm moving to the side again. Okay, so I'm going to pin this down this way. I'll move to the other side. Make sure that the edges are properly aligned. Ensure that the edges are properly aligned. Okay, so I'll pin this down. And then when I get to the front part, it's so easy. This is it right here. I'm just going to pin it down. This way. Okay, so I'll pin it down right here. So this is how it looks. So I'm going to sew it from here straight down, straight down, straight down, and then back to the front. So at this point, this is how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and join this, and then when I'm done, I will show you how it looks like. Don't forget, if you have any challenge, you can go ahead and ask me. Drop your comment on the drop your questions on the group, and please note that if you have paid any money to anyone apart from Aliot Bairobi or Shobawale Ajela, kindly contact the number on your screen. So I'll go ahead and join this, and when I'm done, I will show you how it looks like. Alright, so this is how it looks right here. I started from here, I took it round down to the back, and I ended here. Now if you notice that when you're trying to join your band to your base, this bulky twist here will not allow your thread to come through this place, and by the time you turn this to the right side, you discover that you have this right here, and because of that part, this part might want to start coming up. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to turn it to the wrong side this way, and take just a little thread right here and just tack it slightly from here to here, and I'm just going to be doing that slightly. Okay, so I'm going to check out how I want it to look like. And then I'm just going to tack it in. Okay, you don't have to tack it tightly, just take it in and out, in and out. Okay, just attach it to the tip of that bulky part. Okay, I need to tie my thread. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm going to tack it in and out. Okay, I'm just tacking it in and out just to ensure that that opening does not show anymore. Okay, so that's just how to finish up your band part, just to close up that opening. Is very little, it's very little. Okay, but it has to be closed. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm just closing it up. So I'm just closing it up. You can cut off your excess fabric right here. Okay, and then I continue to tack it in. So I'm done now. I'm just going to tie a knot this way, and then I can cut my excess thread. So this is how it's going to look like from the outside. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like from the outside. Okay, so it's now properly stitched and neatly stitched. Okay, so if you also notice that your crisscross is not relaxing, just go ahead and loosen this part a little. It will allow it to relax. I hope you have gotten value from this class. So this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the side right here, this is the back part, and this is the other side right here. So you can just go ahead and embellish this if you would want to. It's open. You can just get creative about it and go ahead and ask me your questions concerning this design. Okay, and then I'll be there to respond. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Adjola once again. Bye for now.